Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, just joining us through our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, all of us have had a challenging past year and a half, but I think definitely parents have really bore a brunt of the responsibilities when it comes to managing not only the mental load of their child care, but also the education and the enrichment of their children as well. Parents are definitely exhausted. In fact, a recent survey found that about 70% of parents say they feel overwhelmed by the constant routine changes of the past year, and over half of them say they don't feel prepared for the upcoming school year. So how can we be able to rethink child care and even to help to build a support system for our families that help? I have the perfect guest for you guys. Jada Rashawn is joining us today. Jada is a child care expert and professional caregiver. She's going to share with you guys some tips that you guys can be able to use when it comes to looking for support and the right questions to be able to ask along the way. Jada, really appreciate this time today.
No, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
So, Jada, I've definitely seen it myself and my own family that families have definitely been able to make some adjustments, but it has not been easy over the past year and a half. How can they start, though, to start thinking about a post-pandemic option? I know we're still in the pandemic right now, but how can they start thinking about what to do moving forward?
Yeah, this past year was tough on parents for sure, and they've had to wear many different hats. And so what we want to do is to provide a better solution and a better outcome for a more successful school year and just following year period. And what parents can start doing is having real conversations and really sitting down to look at what their child care needs are. You know, everyone's needs look different. No family is the same. Everyone's schedule is different. And based on that information and those questions and conversations that they have collectively as a family, that's going to better help them go in the right direction. And that's actually what Sittercity has come up with, which is the planning assistant tool that helps ask parents the right questions so that they can make the better decision for their family when it comes to child care.
I'm glad you mentioned Sittercity there, Jada. So I want to ask you when it comes to that, because, of course, I mean, rightly so. I mean, parents want to make sure they're doing their due diligence. How can they ensure that they are finding the quality care that meets their particular family's needs?
Great question. I think first and foremost, parents need to understand and learn more about what makes for a really great child caregiver. You know, whether that be a nanny, a babysitter, or child care center, understanding just some key points on what makes for a really high-quality child caregiver, from experience to their references and reviews, as well as knowing what is going to better suit your needs as a family. And, you know, mentioning the planning assistant again, those questions are one of the things that parents have a hard time arriving to and asking themselves. And so that assistant will kind of be that tool to serve as a really great guide to ask the right questions for parents to better understand what the right child care for their family looks like. And in addition to that, there's a lot of resources that really help inform families and caregivers on what makes for a very strong and high-quality child caregiver.
Yeah. Jada, I noticed when I was prepping for this segment, I mean, you have really made it your mission to be able to get people to thinking outside the box, to thinking outside of the norm. How can our audience out there, is they're kind of looking at the current approach, especially when it comes to child care, how can they go about making sure that they're doing their part to looking at their child situation as an individual?
Yeah, I think that one is you hit the nail on the head. Individualized child care and understanding that no family's needs are exactly the same. And what may look right for your family might be completely different for another. But it's going to take having really good conversations and also changing the way that we approach just even collaborative care and really understanding the saying has never been more true, that it takes a village to raise a child. And so in this scenario, really approaching this from a team aspect and looking at your child care solution as that very thing, a team effort, and asking questions and really having a vested interest in having those conversations with all options that you have in regards to child care.
Yeah. I mentioned at the beginning of the segment, Jada, that survey that showed that over half of parents say they don't feel prepared for the upcoming school year. What advice would you give to families out there looking for support right now?
Yeah, it's a high percentage, which means that if we don't know where to start, then we're not going to have a solution and we won't have an ending point. And so families need to have a plan. I think that now more than ever, that needs to be ingrained in our heads the same exact way that we plan for health care, a fire escape, safety plans. We need a child care plan. Gone are the days where we can just kind of wing it when it comes to child care. We actually have to sit down and plan things out. You have to cast a wide net and communicate and really understand that there are solutions out there, and that Sittercity is one of those solutions that's really trying to give parents and child caregivers tools and resources to better equip them to find solutions that work best for their family. So definitely understanding that you need a plan.
All right, love that. Again, everyone, Jada Rashawn has been our guest. She's not only a child care expert, but also a professional caregiver. Jada, you've been telling us about Sittercity. Where can our audience go for more information about it?
Yeah, everyone can go to Sittercity.com for more information to learn about resources as well as taking the free Planner Assistant tool.
All right. Jada, thank you so much for this time and for the great work that you're doing. We really appreciate you and looking forward to speaking with you again. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go today amazing. Take care.